It's showtime.
Hey, welcome to Did You Watch Survivor Last Night? This is the only Survivor podcast. My name is Jake Scheidel. Each week I ask my best friend Thomas Powell if he did indeed watch a certain reality show. Hey, Thomas, how you doing today?
Jake, I'm doing good. Here comes Santa Claus. Right down Santa Claus Lane.
That's crazy that you say that, because this whole time I've been concentrated on the boom. Because here comes the boom also.
Oh, yeah.
You just have to remember that.
Yeah, Kevin James.
Love the guy.
What
Can't get enough of him.
What if Kevin James what if he played Santa Claus in something? Just something to think about.
Yeah, I mean, it's always something to think about, and we should probably talk about it more. I think he would be good Santa Claus. I think Kevin James would make a good Santa Claus. To be honest.
Yeah, Santa Claus would be doing...
Like, if we're being completely honest here...
He'd be doing pratfalls. He'd be... Do you think that Kevin James is the Santa that falls off the roof and dies in the Santa Claus?
Yes, I think that is indeed...
I do too. I'm glad you agree
Kevin
with me.
James. Yeah, I 100% think that's the Santa Claus. It was just a cameo. And then somebody took over for him as Santa Claus, but we don't need to talk about who.
That's not important.
Because that name is not important. Thomas, did you watch the Challenge Double Agents last night?
Jake, I did. Kevin James is not on
Great
that
stuff.
show, so it's very disappointing.
Kevin James, not on that show. I feel like MTV probably plays Here Comes the Boom pretty regularly, though. Kids love that shit. Did you see that this week's episode was called Dive Another Day?
I did, and you know what? Pretty good title. In my opinion.
I would completely agree. I really enjoyed that. So we start off at the crater where we ended last episode, and Natalie decides to stay with Wes. You're all like, oh, I bet it's going to be CT. Get out of here.
I was wrong.
No, obviously she's staying with Wes. Lolo thinks it's a dumb move because, as she says, Natalie was in the elimination because of Wes. Do you think it's a good idea for her to stay with Wes?
I don't know if it is good or bad. It's early to say. I think that he brings a lot to the team, but I think he also could potentially put an unnecessary target on them. So I think that partnering with Wes is a land of contrasts.
I think it's good for her because she doesn't really have anything to worry about because she's already got her gold skull. So if people hate Wes, they can just keep throwing him in, and she'll be fine.
That's a good point.
So I'm not worried. TJ then tells CT that he is a rogue agent and will receive a new partner at the next elimination. Then we go back into the house, and CT tells Cam that he regrets not picking her. CT, come on. We all knew this was going to happen. Come on. Josh walks in on them, and it's supremely awkward. How do you feel about Josh?
You know, he's there. He certainly is on the show, isn't he?
Yeah, he really is. He's so on the show.
He is a member of the cast.
He really is. They love to cast him, even though literally everybody hates him. Joseph works out in the room where they all eat. This was weird, right?
It was a little weird. He was just like doing like, whoa, I'm trying to doing toe touches, like getting stretched out.
Fine and all. Like I've been working out a lot more in the pandemic, right? Because all I do is sit in my apartment, and I've got plenty of time to work out now. So I do like not the most strenuous workouts, but it's still a workout. But the point is, there's a gym where Joseph is living. There's a literal gym in the house where they're staying, and he decided to go do these sit-ups in...
Is there a literal Pam also living in the house?
Yes.
Just a little humor. Just a little humor right there.
I love
You need
comedy.
a little levity when you're doing podcasts, you know? Just keep everybody smiling.
People take podcasts so seriously these days. Ever since Conan O'Brien invented podcasting, people have been so serious about podcasting.
Oh, podcast is an art form. Sometimes I just want to have fun with my friends, you know?
Yeah. And you know what? Comedy is art, too. So, comedy del arte? Ever hear that?
Comedy,
like,
comedy is very serious because, they're only the court jester can speak truth to power to the king.
Yes, it's exactly it. It's Commedia dell'arte, not Comedy dell'arte. But guess what? I already said Comedy dell'arte, so that's what it's going to be. This is the Smart People's Challenge podcast, in case you hadn't heard.
It takes a certain level of intelligence to get our podcast, to understand what we're doing. You know,
Look, it's not
it's
not for everybody.
Maybe your average, young Sheldon watcher will hear his name bleeped out, and they'll be like, "What was that?
Like,
I don't know.
why?
Who are they talking about? I don't understand why
Who's
they
that?"
bleeped that."
Yeah. But if you were smart, you could figure it out by
Yeah.
context clues.
Why were they
And no,
talking
it's
about
not the
Buzz
Santa
Lightyear, but when it
Claus.
seemed like they were going to say his name, it got bleeped out? I don't get it. Well, it's not for you.
It's not for you, it's for smart people. So if you don't get our jokes, see you at the door, This is where jokes come to die.
We're making jokes for 2 people, okay? This is an
Yeah.
exclusive club.
Look, yeah, okay, how many listeners do you have every week? It varies.
Yeah.
But they all appreciate our jokes.
We don't reveal. We're like Netflix. We don't reveal our proprietary numbers,
Well, that is because we're sponsored
except for
by
when we say that
Netflix.
we'll do the Netflix thing where we're like, actually, every person in America listened to this week's episode of it.
We also, this part isn't in any episode. I always cut it out, but to sync up our tracks, we do always do the Netflix thing of going, dun dun.
Yep. According to our internal numbers, 4 billion people listen every week. Also, we're canceling the podcast.
It's very Yep. Big T says that she would not swipe right on Joseph. Would you swipe right on anybody in this house?
Yeah, sure. Some people.
Okay, I need names, Thomas. Come on.
Yeah, just if they're
This is what people tune into challenge
there's people.
podcasts
There's
for.
people in there that I would swipe right on.
Well, one time I was on a date at Revolution Brewing in Chicago.
You said
Illinois,
Nani. Yeah,
and
this is your Nani story, right? We've
Nani-
all heard
Nani
the
was
Nani
there,
story.
So basically, I have been on a
Yeah,
date with
pretty
Nani
much.
because she was also on
Jake,
a date.
well,
at the
I've
same
actually
time
Nani
at the
wasn't
same
there when
place.
I went to Revolution Brewing with you, but I did go to Revolution Brewing one time, and since Nani's been there, I think I also basically went on a date with her. So
Yeah, look. At this point, everybody's been on a date with Nani. It's kind of her thing to go on a lot of dates.
she's always going to Revolution
so-
Brewing.
She's always at Revolution Brewing, even when she moved to LA or something to live with what's her name, Jenna. Man, I miss Nani being in Chicago. The fact that she was in my neighborhood was especially weird because she does not strike me as a person who would live in this neighborhood. Anyway, that's Nani. That's my brief interaction with Nani. Did not talk to her. But Nani, talks to Nicole and Tori about not liking being paired with Kyle, which is fair. I like Kyle fine. I like Nani fine. But that team wasn't really doing anything for me, You know?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. It was just they were just kind of there. It didn't really feel. It just felt like 2 people picked it.
Right.
It felt like 2 people picked at random.
That's kind of what their slot on the show always is like they're both always there for a long time and everyone is friends with them. It's like it makes sense that they ended up together because they're likable people in the house, but it's just it's not opposites attract and stuff, but sometimes you date somebody who's the same as you and that's not as good, and that's kind of like what Nami and Kyle were doing. What I'm saying is Nani should go on a date with me again. And no, my girlfriend does not listen to this podcast. And if you tell her, this person you've never met, Thomas...
Don't fucking narc on Jake, okay?
Don't tell my girlfriend that I want to go on a date with Nani,
Be cool.
okay? Be fucking cool about it, okay? Everybody gets really horny for Nam. Were you horny for Nam, Thomas?
Aren't we all?
Nam, not Nam.
That's me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's hard
look,
to not
Nam,
be.
yeah, Nam, he's hot, he's mysterious, he's shy, also cool.
Very hot to be shy.
He's
As
like
a
the you don't
resident
know
hot
you're
person.
he's like the you don't know you're beautiful song. You know the song You Don't Know You're Beautiful. The song about how you don't
know you're
the song
beautiful.
about how you don't know that you are beautiful.
Yeah, it's a good song. It's written about Nam, and Lolo Jones sang it. But before we get to that, we have to talk about this mission. They have to swim out to a ship, grab a block of ice, and then smash the ice and take out what is called a kill pill, and place it in another team's station. I thought this was a really fun challenge.
Yeah.
I also liked that Nicole doesn't know that ice floats, apparently. Did you catch that?
I didn't. I must have missed that. That's funny.
Yeah. She was very concerned that they would need to carry the ice back through the water, and they were like, no, it's fine. It's
floats
ice.
on the water.
It'll float. So Nicole probably not listening to this podcast because, again, it is for smart people. Wes and Natalie are the first team out. See, Wes and Natalie strike me as Did You Watch Survivor Last Night listeners because they're smart people. Michi got medically DQ'd. Any thoughts on Michi as a contestant on this show? No? Okay, me neither.
Yep. Moving on.
But, yeah, a bunch of people stand around the stations not wanting to make a move until they all decide to just let Aneesa and Fessy win. Do you think this was a good strategy?
What is the point of doing this?
I think the idea was if Aneesa and Fessy are the double agents, I guess, is like the immune team. I would have assumed they were all double agents because they all have teammates, and the name of the show is Double Agents, but whatever. If Fessy and Aneesa are in power again, that means nobody else has to make a move to upset everyone else. I think that was the thinking.
Yeah, I don't know.
But also that's giving a lot of one team a lot of power.
Yeah, I don't know that that's a great idea, but whatever.
Yeah. Also, what else are you gonna do? I don't know. At the house, Joseph says that he wants to go into the crater like every rookie. How soon into this episode did you realize that Joseph would be eliminated?
Basically, the minute that it seemed like they were focusing on him at all, I was like, yeah, he's out of here.
Mm-hmm. I thought it was weird when they showed him working out in front of Leroy, and I was like, huh, this seems like...
Keep an eye on this. Let's see where this goes.
So he wants to go into the crater. CT is worried that he'll end up with a weak partner after the elimination, and then Wes pitches himself to join Team Young Buck. Thomas, I learned last night while doing these notes, I thought they were called the Young Bucks Alliance. This alliance is in fact called Team Young Buck.
It's because they were going to get sued by the wrestlers.
They probably didn't want to get sued by wrestlers, yeah. Which is fine. Do you know who all is in Team Young Buck at this point? Because apparently it's a lot more people than it has been in previous seasons.
Yeah, is it like the half of the fucking show?
Yes, apparently. Initially, it was Corey and Nelson, and then they brought in Hunter from Are You the One? And then he stopped doing the show. And now I guess Fessy is involved also, and so is Jay, and now I guess Devin and Wes too. It's just like, when did this become the Power Alliance? I've been watching this show for decades. And this is the first time it seems like they've really had a shot. Anyway, it's exciting. I like those people. Then they have a party, and Nany pitches herself to join forces with Fessy. Lolo gets especially horny for Nam, and then they kiss. This is the first kiss of the season, I think. Pretty exciting, huh?
Yeah, very, who doesn't like to see a little smooching?
I do love smooching. Smooching is a lot more fun on this show than Survivor. That's what I will say that. So even though it was a pretty chaste kiss,
Chaste chiss.
a little chaste chist, I thought it was fun. I liked seeing it. It was nice. I'm glad that Nam is getting some attention.
Yeah, this was adorable.
It was like the Lolo is. It was like the got somebody.
I do like the most chaste possible pairing. Like you just get this sweet little it was nice. It was nice to see instead of it just being like we're gonna fuck. Which whatever.
Yeah.
If you want to do that, that's fine. But it is nice that Lolo, because Lolo. If I remember correctly, because I remember this being a big deal a few years ago when she was still an Olympian, it's she's saving herself for marriage, right? That's a thing, I think.
Yep. Yep.
So, like,
And she's nearly 40 years old. She said that she wants to wait until she's at least 41 because there needs to be a sequel to 40-Year-Old
oh
Virgin.
yeah, good point.
That's just very funny
Yeah,
of Lolo
but
to
that's
say that.
yeah. This is cute.
It was cute. I'm happy for them. I was wondering how they would deal with Lolo being a very horny virgin.
That's the thing that's hilarious too. Is like the like contrast of like her being like an extremely outwardly horny person, but also like saving herself for marriage. Like there's a lot of comedy that can be mined there.
Comedy dell'arte, you might say, which is something we love here on this show. Joseph gives Big T advice on talking to Wes, even though this is his first season and her third season, and Wes has been on every single one of her seasons. I'm just saying, I was fucking annoyed with Joseph when he did that. I was annoyed with Joseph throughout a lot of this episode, but anyway, Double O Big T plots to get her team thrown
I
into
think that
elimination
everyone
so
in
she
the
can
show
ditch
should do
Joseph.
that at least once.
Double O.
Just call themselves
nickname?
Double O their name.
Double O CT.
Time for Double O West to get involved.
I'm trying to remember what anybody's nickname is. I mean, there's obviously Nelly T, Big T. Oh, do they need to have T in their name to have it be a nickname?
Double O CT.
Well, and then obviously there's Lolo Lolo.
Yes. Double Olo.
Double Olo. That's good. Double O Michi. Double O Fessy. Double O Liv. That's just a shortened version. That's barely a nickname. Man. Oh, Double O, our friend from back home, Jay.
Good point.
That's a good one. Double O Roy Lee.
It's a shame that there's no one named Kevin on the show, because they would be Double O Kevin, which is a pun.
That is funny. We love comedy here. Do you like Double O Big T? I feel like this is... You haven't seen either of her other two
Oh, no, I like
right?
Big T just fine, but, like, I don't like... I think the nickname Double O Big T is lazy.
Yeah, Thomas. It's the challenge. None of them are clever. Like, Devin is the most clever person on this show, and he called his partner a very fit infant this week.
Yep.
Which, granted, is very funny. But, like, if that's the level of comedy we're getting with this show, I don't know if it's, like... I don't know if I would call it comedy dell'arte, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's not. These people aren't trained. They didn't go to clown school.
No. Walking through a fucking street in
This
Paris,
is not.
you know,
It's
and
not
see any of these
Pagliacci
people with
we're
white on their
dealing with
face.
here.
Devin is Pagliacci.
He's no Pagliacci, but Dr. Devin is Pagliacci.
Yeah. Then they nominate some people. Joseph nominates Wes in front of the whole house, and Wes nominates Joseph, I guess, gives a lot of points why they should vote for him instead. And then Natalie comes in and says, if you have the balls to come up here and call somebody out and say you want to go in, go the fuck in. I'm really glad that Natalie's on this show now.
Yeah, Natalie's, she's like fish in water. This is, she fits right in here.
She's perfect for this show. So everybody goes and votes. Kyle then tells Anissa and Fessy and Tori that he voted for Wes, as was their plan, even though he actually voted for Joseph.
He's a liar. Who would
Can't be
lie
lying
on
in
this
game,
show?
Kyle.
Unbelievable.
I know. It's ridiculous. Then they go to the deliberate. Anissa and Fessy are shocked to learn that it's Joseph and Big T instead of Wes and Natalie like they planned. So they see that Kyle voted for Joseph and Big T, and then it's a new plan for Fessy and Anissa. But before we get to that, we got to talk about these wildlife shots.
Okay.
Alive.
Were there any?
Well, that's what I wanted to talk about. This is 2 weeks in a row with no wildlife shots. So, TJ, putting you on notice.
Yeah, come on.
Saying, you promised us new wildlife shots in Iceland. We've never done a show in Iceland. I was excited. Oh, maybe because you shot this during COVID, you didn't want all the cameramen to go out in the wilderness and take pictures of animals. Wear a fucking mask, okay?
Here's what I want to know. Why haven't they played? They've, like, the music selection, great. I only have one complaint with it. Why haven't they played any Bjork yet? Like, what
Bjork?
are we doing here?
Well, Bjork Was Bjork around in like the 80s? Was she making music in the 80s?
Well, no,
Because it feels like
it's Iceland though. Like, come on. They played a
don't think that's
cover.
how they-
Okay, look, they played a cover from like 2 years ago of the song Blue Monday. Okay, so they're not only playing the '80s versions of this.
okay,
They can play Bjork.
Okay. Well, why aren't they playing Sigur Rós either?
Yeah, good.
Guess
You know
We
what?
already
It's a
are.
great question.
Look, the challenge isn't did you watch Survivor last night? They're not going to play a musician just based on the location. Okay? So I'm just saying
Yeah.
it would be great if they did, but we're already doing it, so don't steal our bit.
Were they okay? So they played Just Like
challenge.
Heaven. Were there any other notable like kind of new wavy stuff they played?
There was one other one. Maybe it was Just Like Heaven that I was thinking of. But yeah, I know there was at least one song from that era.
But they played
Maybe
Just Like
not.
Heaven, and I liked that because it's a good song.
Yeah, I'm always really excited whenever they play music on MTV Music Television. I want my MTV, you know? Okay, then there's the Crater. Jesse, no, that's nobody. There's nobody named Jesse. Fessy and Anissa nominate Kyle and Nani for elimination, and then they go, whoa. And then in the talking head, Big T forgets Joseph's name again. This was one of my favorite running bits of the season so far, of Big T always forgetting Joseph's name.
It's a good one.
Yeah. So it's Kyle and it's Joseph, and they have to fight for a ring, and then they have to place it on a post. Good challenge, I think. But before going into the crater, Joseph licks a small Tupperware container of mustard. What were your thoughts on the mustard, Thomas?
Why? My thought was why.
Yeah, same. Well, he did explain it's to alleviate cramps.
Okay, sure. I didn't know that was a thing to do that, but
Apparently it is. I'm Googling it now. Mustard cramps, is that anything? It's yellow mustard is the only kind of mustard documented to relieve nighttime leg cramps.
Okay.
Well, I don't know that Joseph was going to get nighttime leg cramps though, because
well, yeah, because
Kyle
he
absolutely-
licked the mustard.
Right, because he licked the mustard. Should do that every night, really. Kyle absolutely destroys him in the elimination, so much so that Kyle himself vomits afterwards. So that's pretty
I
impressive.
thought Joseph gave a good effort. He just was outmatched.
Yeah, absolutely.
I did like the talking head he had where he was like, "What did I get myself into? Like everyone is yelling at him to kill me."
I'm very curious to see if they bring him back or not, because
What was he on America's Got Talent for? Like, what was his talent?
He's a singer and rapper.
Okay.
Yeah. People seem to like him, though. Like, the audience seemed to like him. So I wouldn't be surprised if he did come back. I mean, Cara Maria was out her first season first.
True.
So it's possible. I think Bananas did, too. And he went on to be Johnny Bananas, everybody's favorite guy. In a talking head, CT says, Professor Kyle takes out Colonel Mustard in the crater with a hula hoop. This was very fun. I really like CT.
Yeah, it was good.
I enjoyed that. When TJ asks Fessy if he regrets not coming down, Fessy says he does, and then Kyle calls him out on it. So that was exciting. Who do you like more in this apparent feud, Fessy or Kyle?
Fessy.
You think so? Yeah.
I'm fine.
Even though he's a pussy and won't go down to elimination.
I don't care
which
about that.
obviously
That's not how the game is played.
That's the that is though. That is now. You have to go into elimination at some point to run TJ's final. That's what he keeps saying.
I mean, you do, but I wouldn't want to go up against Kyle if I didn't have to.
But he wouldn't be going up against Kyle. He would be going up against Joseph.
Oh, you're right. He would have gone up against Joseph.
Yeah. No, I also would not want to go up against Kyle. I think Kyle and I are about the same size, but I think he is much scrappier than me. I would get tired after like a minute. Like, I don't really care anymore.
Yeah. He seems like he's
I'll just go home.
It seems like he's got a little more follow through than you.
Yeah, he's got a lot of endurance, and that's terrifying. Because literally every time he has to do a challenge, it's like, Kyle's not going to be able to do this. And then he comes through every single time, and it's like, wait, you're strong? You look like the lankiest, most
I was gonna say,
awkward
like,
guy in the
I'm
world.
always like, yeah, I don't know, this guy doesn't look physically dominant, and then it's like, oh no, he's like one of those guys that's like very like wiry muscles.
Yeah. So Kyle takes Cam to be his new partner, right? Yeah.
Yes, he does.
Wait, he lost his partner? What happened to Nani?
He had the option to
he won
choose
the
someone
elimination,
else.
right.
He won, yeah.
Right. Holy shit. I love this show, sort of, but sometimes it does get confusing.
Yeah.
Like, the details are so specific. So that means that Josh, Cam's former partner, has to pick somebody new, and he picks Nani. Oh, that answers the question.
It seems
have
like
to read
this,
the second line of my notes.
It seems like this worked out fine for everybody because Josh and Nani are friends, so...
Yeah. Do you like Kyle and Cam being together?
It's interesting. I think that they could go really far.
Yeah. Do you like Josh and Nani being together?
You know, I don't know that either of them has much of a chance to win. I think I definitely feel better about picking Cam long term with Kyle.
Yes, definitely. I like Cam being with Kyle a lot more than Cam being with Josh.
Yes, I agree.
And I like Nani being with Josh a lot more than I like Nani being with Kyle, so I think it's good.
Yeah, I think it's definitely more interesting pairings for both of them.
Yes, absolutely. That means CT gets Big T, so they're not.
We have
called
another
Big
team
CT.
that we can do a stupid team name with, where it's the same either way.
I was waiting for that all episode so we could call them Big CT because I wanted that so bad.
Yep.
How do you feel about Big CT as a partnership?
I think it's got some potential.
I think so too.
I think Big T's a little bit of a schemer, and now she's got like a good physical player to complement her.
I would agree. I think CT is probably the biggest. Well, maybe Fessy is bigger than CT. I don't know exactly, but CT one of the biggest, and Big T one of the smallest people in the house.
Yeah, good.
It's great. I love it. Okay, let's get into these points, Thomas. You got to start guessing good because the only points you got this week were for Leroy and Cam surviving. Which, granted, important points. We all need those points. But that means you're only at 4 points now. I got a point for Jay surviving, a point for Nicole surviving, a point for Joseph going home, and a point for Natalie sticking with Wes. So let's pick. Oh, that means I'm at 7. You're at 4. That's where we're at now. Who's winning the next mission?
I'm going to say Kyle and Cam get off to a fast start.
Kyle and Cam, good answer. I'm going to pick... Ooh, I have the tab open right now, so I can pick from... What if it just told me who everybody's partner is? Okay, here we go. I think it's Leroy and... Wait, did I see Leroy and Casey last time? I said Leroy and Casey last time, and they did not come through. I'm going to say Nam and Lolo.
Okay.
Yeah. Who's getting voted in?
I'm gonna say Wes and Natalie.
Even though Natalie's already got her gold skull, why would they waste it on her? Anyway, hey, it's your choice. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I'll say
if you want to pick that. If you want to pick,
I'll say Nam and Lolo get voted in. I think people are gonna be threatened by them.
Actually, that's a really good point. I think it'll be Anissa and Fessy.
That makes sense.
I think they've got too much power too early. Who's going home? It's going to be a female competitor, most likely.
Is it? They just did a Oh, yeah, you're right. No, you're right.
They just did a male.
Yeah. Man. Well, I don't think Lolo's going to lose to whoever gets thrown in there.
God, a lot of the women are very strong this season.
Yeah, who else? I'm trying to think of who would.
Do you want me to go through all the
please do.
female players right now?
Yeah.
Okay, so we still have Amber B, Amber M, Anissa, Big T, Gabby, Cam, Casey, Liv, Lolo, Nani, Natalie, Nicole, Teresa, and Tori from Team Tori, also known as Team Corey. This is 2 seasons of the challenge that we've covered that Corey Wharton has had a great team name.
That's true. Who's Teresa partnered with again? Is that Devin?
Jay.
Oh, she's with Jay.
Jay. Nicole's with Devin.
Who are
Two of my favorite
the there's two people with the same name, correct?
Amber and Amber?
Yeah, who are the Ambers partnered with?
Amber B is with Darrell. Amber M is with Nelson.
I'm going to say that you said it's Amber B is the one that's with Darrell?
Yes.
I'm going to say that she goes home. I'm going to say that they get thrown in.
Mm-hmm. That would make sense because Darrell's a champ, too. Who... Oh, there's no female champs left because they took Ashley out first. I guess Nany.
I was thinking about it.
I don't want to see Nany go, you know. But just looking at the other competitors and knowing her career, I'm feeling it'll be Nany. Now, this is going to be difficult because everybody has a partner right now, but whoever wins the elimination gets to pick a new partner should they choose one.
I don't think that, in this case, I have Lolo winning, so no, she's not going to pick a new partner.
Okay. So you're saying Lolo's sticking with Nam.
Yeah.
I will say, that means Josh would need to pick a new partner if it's Nany. I'm going to say Josh picks Natalie.
Okay.
It's just like Josh should just go and fuck everything up for everybody. Okay. Anything else you want to predict before the next episode of the challenge, Double Agents?
I predict that there will be another episode with no wildlife shots.
Okay. That's fair. I'm going to say... Michi hits on Amber M? I think that's... Amber M is the one from Are You the One, right?
If you don't know, I don't think you can confidently make a prediction.
Okay, then I'll just say it confidently. Which, as we know, means I won't get it right. Mm-hmm. Michi hooks up with Amber M in this next episode.
Okay.
Okay, Thomas, what's your Twitter handle?
You can follow me at TomNotTom.
You can follow me at Jake Scheidel or the show on Twitter at DYWSLN or the Only Survivor podcast on Instagram. You can review us on Apple Podcasts because Spotify doesn't have a review section, I don't think. But we do need to hear the Apple Podcast review, Thomas. The boilerplate review.
This is the review.
And by boilerplate, we mean it's required.
This is a mandatory review. If you listen to this podcast, you must give us 5 stars, and you must leave a review that says, "This is my favorite podcast. I like it better than all of the other podcasts. I give it a big thumbs up."
And you know what? If you don't write that and you listen to this show,
you're gonna get a little.
You're
gonna get coal in your stocking.
You're gonna get coal in your stocking
from Kevin James himself.
Wow, what a twist that would be if Kevin James was the mean Santa.
What if he came dressed as Paul Blart and he left you coal? Wouldn't that be confusing?
That would be so harsh. It's like, I thought you were the dead Santa Claus. No, if you don't write that Apple review and you listen to this podcast, your name's getting bleeped out from the show too.
Yeah, that's right.
We got to give these people some stakes because they're not leaving reviews, Thomas. Anyway, that's the challenge. Tune in next week and we'll talk more about it. Excuse me. Have a great quarantine.
Oh, deuces.
I lay awake at night, false lover, just so trouble. It's hard to keep a job, laid off, I'm having double trouble. But hey, yeah, they say you can make it if you try. Yes, I'm this generation's millionaire.
Just want a frickin' $1 million, y'all.
It's hard for me to keep decent clothes to wear. Your love got me walking, baby, when I have no place to go. The bad luck and trouble's taking me. I have no money to show. Hey, yeah. They try. Yeah, some of this generation is millionaires.
I'm gonna go ahead and take the money and run, too.
It's hard for me to keep decent clothes to wear.
You okay?
Did you
Were you
burp?
laughing at
What
me
was
trying
that?
to burp? Yeah, I was burping. I was trying to get a burp out quickly. Didn't work. Did not work.
Tried to sneak one in. You gotta get it pretty early to sneak a burp in on me.
And turn things around now, baby, just like me and you. Hey, hey, to make it, you got to try. Baby, there's no lie. Yes, some of this generation is millionaire.
Who wants to be a millionaire? Here we go.
I ain't even got decent clothes to wear.
Hooray! We did it.